Could you just introduce yourself and your job title and company, please?
Yeah, my name is Rosa Chang. I'm the Director of Global Black Belt for Sustainability in Americas at Microsoft. So what we usually do is connect the dots between the business process and technology. How can we help our customers, and what are the type of benefits that they can receive with our solution? Business, technology, and sustainability benefits.
Black Belt is one of the best titles I've ever seen for a job. I'd quite like it myself. What does it mean?
Well, what we call is like subject matter experts. We are not ninjas, but it has to be with also the methodology, the Lean Six Sigma methodology that has been for a long time, right? So we do kind of Lean Six Sigma, design thinking, business value management. So that type of things in order to help our customer to in their challenge that they are facing, pain points that they are facing, and based on that, how can we support, how can we enable solutions, right, in technology, from Microsoft in this case, to identify how can they achieve their strategy and what could be the business benefits, technology benefits, and also sustainability.
Yeah, okay, so it's kind of like you're mastering your class, essentially.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your career journey, your background, how you ended up at Microsoft.
Well, I started in financial service early in my career. And by the way, I'm native Peruvian. I'm born and raised in Peru. But then I moved to Mexico to study my master in finance. I was always in financial service. I created the first eco-friendly mortgage in Mexico. And the curiosity started in sustainability like that. But then the financial crisis arrived. I was laid off, and then I moved into technology. I couldn't believe that in technology, what they need is also people that can be closer to the business area, understand the process in the business area, the challenge. And that was the way that I started working in technology, covering different industries, financial service, airlines, manufacturing. And that was the way that I entered at Microsoft. However, when I was at Microsoft in 2020, during the pandemic, Microsoft announced to the world the main commitments in sustainability, big commitments in sustainability to become carbon negative, water positive, and zero waste. And that is when I decided to raise my hands and basically create a proactive value proposition to support our customers in their sustainability journey. And that is the role that I have right now, Global Black Belt for Sustainability.
Yeah, fantastic, thank you. And I'm assuming that you love your job. What is it that you love about your job?
Well, the opportunity to talk with people, but most important, the impact that you can bring also in terms of with the customers and for the environment and for people. The impact to the society, the impact to the environment, understanding what are the different things that the customer can do to reduce their emissions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What would you say are the greatest sustainability challenges for Microsoft and therefore for the industry?
The big challenge, and I think that is not only for Microsoft but for most of the industries, is that the indirect emissions, the emissions coming from the value chain, are the huge. So, for example, at Microsoft, the Scope 3, the indirect emissions represent 96% of the total emissions in the organization. So focusing on the value chain, in the procurement process, in the value chain, also in how the products arrive to the customer, in terms of also circularity, right, can help to reduce the emissions and also can help to improve process, right, automate process, digitalize process, and we are using also artificial intelligence to reduce, the manual work and also to focus on what is important, right, the analysis, take actions faster and take decisions faster in terms of all this value chain.
Yeah, yeah. And what kind of things is Microsoft doing to achieve those aims, the water positivity, the carbon negativity, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the strategy is very fascinating because we work in 3 circles. One is we take care about our environmental footprint, right? So we measure our carbon footprint, our water footprint, but additional to that, we also offer solutions, digital solutions to our customers in order to support in their customers in their sustainability journey to decarbonize themselves. And additional to that, the third circle is about global impact. So we work with governments, with universities, with NGOs in order to advocate for policies that accelerate policies for climate markets, for carbon-free markets, right? Develop new markets, and we have for that $1 billion fund that is our Climate Innovation Fund that was created with basically carbon tax that we apply to the whole organization at Microsoft, to our different divisions, our different data centers. We have a carbon tax, right? So we pay a carbon fee for the energy consumption, water consumption, our business travel, and this has created an innovation fund that we are using to invest, for example, in sustainable aviation fuel, right, with Alliance of United Airlines, Alaska. Then we are using this fund, for example, for restoration of ecosystems in Mexico with Xochimilco, for example, to water replenishment and water optimization, right, in Chile, in Texas, in Denver, right? So yeah, we use this fund in order to support the community, but also help us to decarbonize and to achieve carbon negative. That is the idea, to achieve carbon negative, water positive, to protect more lands, right, than we operate.
Yeah. One thing I didn't have on the questions, but perhaps it's something we could briefly talk about. AI and data centers, the massive amount of energy that they demand, and obviously Microsoft has to be a part of that. How are you tackling that? I'm not sure that the world has found a way of absolutely solving the problem, but how are you looking towards that at Microsoft?
We have a strategy also in terms of for this year, 2025, to operate all our data centers with 100% renewable energy, and we are on track. What does mean? That also we are using, renewable energies in all our data centers, and that also help our customers, right, when they move their operations from on-premise to cloud, right, to reduce their energy consumption and their carbon emissions. So additional to that, that's why we are investing also a lot, right, and advocating for policies in terms of accelerating carbon-free electricity, right? That is the way that we consider that we can operate in a more sustainable way, right? So that is some of the projects that we are doing, but advocating for all the policies that can help us to reduce our emissions and to transition to a carbon-free electricity.
Yeah, there's big challenges ahead, isn't there? But you can only address them as much as you can at the time. So I wonder, have you got anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, and this was something for the panel that we have about women in sustainability. I think that it's going to be important to continue to encourage STEAM careers, right? STEAM careers meaning like science, technology, engineer, math. That is the future, but to add to all of that, the sustainability mindset. I think that if everybody can start thinking, how can they support people, planet, and prosperity in sustainability with these careers, I think that innovation is going to come more often, and it's going to be a systemic breakthrough, right? Where basically it could be the collaboration between the private and the public sector.